Good morning, I'm Angelo Castro III.
I'm Angela, and we are the Castros.
We bring you the news.
And the views that make you think.
Sometimes we agree.
Sometimes we don't.
This is News and Views.
And here are today's headlines.
Kitty Duterte and her mother, Hanilet Avancenia, arrive in The Hague, Netherlands, ahead of former President Rodrigo Duterte's 80th birthday.
9 administration-backed senatorial bets made it into the Magic 12 in the latest SWS survey.
Senator Imee Marcos breaks away from the admin senatorial slate. What led to her decision?
And the Northeast monsoon or amihan season has officially ended in most parts of the country, signaling the onset of the dry season according to PAGASA.
First in the news, Kitty Duterte and her mother, Hanilet Avancenia, are now in the Netherlands to visit former President Rodrigo Duterte just in time for his 80th birthday on Friday. Joby Francisco with the story.
Shalito Hanilet Avancenia and her daughter Veronica Kitty Duterte made an appearance at the Scriveningen prison, the penitentiary where former President Rodrigo Duterte is currently detained awaiting trial for crimes against humanity. The mother and daughter inquired about getting permission to visit the former president, but were seen spending time with supporters outside the detention facility instead. They opted not to grant media interviews. Hanilet was heard thanking supporters. Vice President Sara Duterte told reporters recently that she's expecting Hanilet and Kitty to avail of the visitation slot for relatives on March 28, the birthday of the former president. While interacting with supporters, Kitty wished her father a happy birthday.
Good health and unta mukaon na gyud siya sa ilang pagkaon dira sa sulod di na maginahigulon. Kato lang gyud.
The mother and daughter obliged to have pictures taken with their supporters and after an hour left the penitentiary. Kitty filed a petition at the Supreme Court for her father, hoping to bring him back to the Philippines.
I don't see any action from the Supreme Court of the Philippines affecting the physical custody of Duterte in the International Criminal Court, which is a separate court with separate jurisdiction. Could you imagine the Philippine Supreme Court ordering the ICC judges, hey, I want him back? Not even President Marcos can bring him home.
The arrival of other members of the Duterte clan come at a time when the proceedings of the Crimes Against Humanity case against the former president are underway, with the prosecution panel recently submitting 181 pieces of evidence. Reporting from the ICC here at The Hague, Joby Francisco, we are One News.
Meanwhile, senatorial candidate Gringo Honasan, Representative Rodante Marcoleta, and other former military officials have launched a signature campaign urging the return of former President Rodrigo Duterte from The Hague. Honasan said a desk will be set up at Liwasang Bonifacio for those who wish to sign. He added that signatures will also be collected online to accommodate overseas supporters. The campaign aims to file a petition before the ICC through a people's initiative. Honasan emphasized that there is no specific target for the number of signatures and the petition will be submitted as soon as possible.
Yung sa first report, things are gearing up for Friday, tomorrow.
Yeah.
So The Hague, I think Saturday sa atin, no? Because aside from the birthday of former President Rodrigo Duterte, may mga nagpo-post na tayo saw ito sa online, yung Green Movement or the Green Movement Rising, which is supposed to, the Green is sila Sara Duterte, VP Sara, di ba? So parang launching ng movement nila. Oo.
And along with this, yung signature campaign na pinangungunahan ni Senatorial Gringo Honasan, Representative Rodante Marcoleta, this is only to show yung widespread support para kay former President Rodrigo Duterte. Kasi even if, I think, hindi naman ako lawyer, pero even if you submit the signature campaign doon sa ICC, I don't think they will look at it that way, Kasi syempre, ang ICC, they only look at cases that are, genocide, war against humanity, crime cases of like that. So I don't think they will look at it the same way yung signature campaign na ginagawa nila. So this is just political and advocacy effort, tingin ko.
The ICC will not even look at it, yung mga
Oo.
signatures at all, because they, number one, people's
Usually they always they always look at it yung mga cases na to with evidences di ba?
No, I mean, they won't even consider it pauwiin at all because malinaw ang sinabi ni Attorney Cristina Conti, no one can compel the ICC to do what they don't want to do because they have jurisdiction already over former President Rodrigo Duterte. Not even the Supreme Court, not even daw President Bong Marcos can order the ICC to have President Rodrigo return. Yung usapin sa kaso, that's a totally different thing. But wala, it's all in the hands now of the ICC.
Kaya nga itong ginagawa nila, it's more of like showing nga yung widespread support para kay FPRRD.
I think this is more of
political and advocacy effort.
I think this is more of a local goal. Just to show...
Kasi dito sa bansa natin, mahilig magaganyan.
Yeah, that's number one, a people's initiative is used for a referendum on certain laws. Kasi di ba you can pass laws through people's initiative
Yes.
also. So I don't see the goal of this. Kahit may 3 million signatures ka at binigay mo
Kahit
kay
isinabit sa ICC
President
yan,
Bongbong
di ba?
Marcos, hindi, kahit binigay mo nga kay President Bongbong Marcos yan I don't see what the goal is. But it's just a show, tama ka?
Yeah,
It's just a show of support.
support na mapakita sa tao na sa buong mundo na there are widespread support for him.
Alam naman natin lahat, but I think they know that. It's just that yun lang. They want to put it on record how many people support the former president.
So, dun sa magiging birthday, tulad ng nabanggit natin yesterday, sinabi nga ni Vice President Sara Duterte sa mga supporters nila dun sa the Netherlands. Mas maigi mag-picnic-picnic na lang sila doon, mga pocket groupings, 'di ba? Kaysa yung organize sila ng massive rally doon kasi mahirap daw kumuha ng ng permit.
You always have to, you're talking about sa Europe lang at least. But you always take statements like this of any politician with a grain of salt. Siyempre, hindi mo ipapakita yung alas mo Ano ba plano mo talaga, di ba? Kasi if...
Saka dito, di ba sabi, may mga prayer vigil.
This is a catalyst. This might be a catalyst for the green... They're posting green So it's a movement they're trying to build, just like the movement of former Vice President Leni Robredo, yung pink movement.
Pink naman.
Oo, na which nagpakita ng lakas during the last election, although natalo. But there's what you call the wave of pink. Ito na nga yung green, green movement.
And another support pa from the OFW, yung pinag-uusapan din natin yesterday, yung zero-remittance for the day. Diba? Pero yun nga, napag-usapan na natin yan yesterday. But moving forward, Diego.
All right, the Senate President Chis Escudero said the upper chamber has no plans to retaliate following pro-Duterte OFW's plan for a zero-remittance week. Escudero emphasized that retaliation is not the appropriate response and called for understanding instead. This comes after a statement by Presidential Chief Legal Counsel Juan Ponce Enrile, who warned OFWs that Congress could retaliate if they halt remittances in protest of former President Duterte's ICC detention. Enrile suggested lawmakers could revoke privileges such as income tax exemptions and remittance benefits. Pro-Duterte group Maisug Croatia said their zero-remittance week will run from March 28, coinciding with the former president's birthday until April 4.
Hindi ito issue ng gantihan. Kung gusto natin pahupain, pababain yung emosyon at tensyon, hindi siguro tamang reaksyon ng gumanti at pumatol. Siguro ang tamang reaksyon ay lawakan ng pag-unawa o intindihin at tanggapin ang sitwasyon at hikayatin sila na maghanap marahil ng iba pang pwedeng gamiting paraan para ilahad yung kanilang nasa sa loob at damdamin. Karapatan po nila yon, pero makakasakit yon hindi lamang sa ating ekonomiya, pero sa maraming pamilyang Pilipino na umaasa sa kanilang mga kamag-anak at mahal sa buhay para sa kanilang pang-araw-araw, lingguhan at buwanang gastusin. But that is a peaceful mode of protest na hindi pinagbabawal ng batas.
Ayun. So, just like we talked about yesterday, talagang mas may epekto sa economy natin for the day, pero hindi naman ganun kataas. Kasi isang araw lang naman din yan. But of course, ang mas maapektuhan yung mga pamilya nila kasi for that day or for specific time, medyo madidelay ang bayad nila for utilities sila and other expenses.
Kasi hindi mo gusto yung pamamalakad ng isang mga grupong politician, and yet your way to correct this or show your protest against it is by halting remittances that will hurt the country, not directly hurt our leaders. Hindi mo masasaktan ng mga presidente, yung Congress. Hindi mo sila at the end of the day, sisweldohan pa naman sila. Ang ginawa nyo, tinanggalan nyo ng income yung bansa. Di ba? Yung bansa
Pero
mismo,
week
long
pala
term.
na, hindi pala day. Week pala yung plano
one
nila.
Week. Almost 98 million daw a day ang mawawala.
So, impact of zero remittance week to the economy is almost zero. Only 0.03% based on 2024 OFW total remittance versus the 2024 PH GDP. Okay.
Lalim nun para maintindihan lang ng tao, somebody did the calculation, almost 98 million a day for 5 days. So if you compute that, that's roughly about 500 million. When you look at it by numbers wise, mataas siya, pero given that you don't know, kasi ang Europe mismo is like 7% of the entire remittance income ng Pilipinas. So, if everyone in Europe, every single OFW will participate, I doubt it daw. They doubt
Dun
it
sa
also.
usapin na sinabi, di ba kinakwento ko sa ito nung nag-post si Senator Juan Ponce Enrile regarding this na we have to remember na tama naman siya na may mga tax privileges sa mga OFWs, di ba? Income tax return, exempted sila dun, etc. And pwede daw yan bawiin ng Congress. Pero yun nga, even si Congresswoman Luistro, sabi niya, hindi naman daw nila iniisip na gawin yun. So,
because hindi naman lahat ng OFW sa magsastrike yung zero remittance. Pero sana isipin nila na yung galit nila sa isang leader o isang administrasyon, tapos ang gagawin nyo para to call their attention is to hurt the country. That is wrong and far-fetched. Kasi nagagalit kayo sa pamamalakad ng sistema, then kayo mismo din sasaktan nyo yung sarili nyong bansa. That is totally uncalled for.
Well, as I've said yesterday also, this is not the first time na ginamit ng mga OFWs yung kanilang mga financial power to stage a protest. In 2013, nagkaroon din pala ng ganun, dun sa kanilang protesta sa pork barrel, etc. So, parang day lang naman yata yung ginawa nila at that time. Alright, in other news, let's move forward. In other news, the Philippine National Police confirms recalling officers from Senator Bato Dela Rosa's security. The PNP said that 2 officers assigned to Dela Rosa's security detail were recalled in January. Police spokesperson Brigadier General Jean Fajardo said the move was in compliance with COMELEC Resolution 11067, which automatically revokes security assignments during the election period. Fajardo clarified that despite the recall, De La Rosa still has 4 police officers assigned to him with COMELEC-issued exemption certificates until June 11. She added that the senator has more police escorts than most officials, who are usually limited to 2 under the resolution.
Dami pala
Di ba,
escort mo.
pinag-usapan na rin natin yan yesterday. I mean, I think off-cam ata na it's part of dahil election
Election
Di ba?
yan.
May recalling talaga yung pag-election.
Tsaka
Tapos
hindi lang
unless
siya-
meron kang exemption.
Pati si VP Sara na-recall ng certain officers last year. Remember?
Last year, hindi naman yung
No,
regarding
not within
sa...
COMELEC exception. But I'm saying it's not targeting.
Si VP Lenny before.
VP Lenny. I mean, it's not targeting specifics. It's just that the iba-ibang circumstances. Ito because may election, may election resolution. Yung kay VP Sara, it's because nagkaroon ng mandate na bawasan because i-reassign sa ibang place. So kanya-kanya.
Prerogative naman talaga ng PNP yan Pero minsan talaga yung desisyon nila will be, of course, yung cost and other reason. And of course, minsan political. Diba? Let's be blunt about it. But alright, we'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. Good morning. You're still watching News and Views here on One News.
Bilang Pilipino, bilang Pilipino.
9 candidates from Alyansa para sa Bagong Pilipinas led the latest commission survey by social weather stations. Senator Bong Go and Representative Erwin Tulfo tied for the top spot with 42% each, followed by Ben Tulfo and Tito Soto, both at 34%. Re-electionist Senators Lito Lapid and Bong Revilla secured 5th and 6th place, respectively. Senator Pia Cayetano and former Senator Ping Lacson tied in 7th to 8th place, while Senator Bato Dela Rosa landed in 9th place. Television host Willie Revilla may ranked 10th, followed by Makati Mayor Abby Binay, former Senator Manny Pacquiao, and Las Piñas Representative Camille Villar, who all tied in 11th to 13th place. The survey was conducted from March 15 to 20 through face-to-face interviews with 1,800 registered voters aged 18 and above.
9 party list groups are leading in the latest pre-election survey conducted by the SWS. The March 2025 poll shows 4Ps on top with 10.44%. They are followed by Duterte Youth with 8.42% and ACT-CIS with 5.29%. Meantime, FPJ Panday Bayanihan dropped to 4th, while Ako Bicol climbed to 5th with 2.51% support. A total of 156 party lists are looking to secure congressional seats in the upcoming polls.
Now, to provide more insights regarding these surveys, we have Professor Edmund Tayaw, President and CEO of the Political Economic Elemental Researchers and Strategists, or PEERS, via Zoom. Hi, Prof. Thanks for joining us again.
Hi, good morning. Thanks for having me.
All right, Prof, let's start off now. Yung recent, of course, the recent arrest of former President Duterte. Based on these and nakikita mong sa survey, did it affect any movements aside from Senator Bongo, of course, of the other candidates of the Rodrigo Duterte slate?
Well, at the least, no, if our reference would be the previous surveys, we were faring quite worse, no, before. At umakyat sila ngayon, no? If I'm not mistaken, they're on striking distance as far as the Magic 12 is concerned. But don't get the hopes too high, no? Kasi alam mo, sa history ng ating senatorial voting, if you are ranked 8 and above, that's a pretty shaky situation, no? And also for the information of your viewers, no, it's important to understand that at the least, no, since 2013, there is a tendency for surveys to no longer reflect the actual result. I meant 2013 because all of the exit polls, with the exception of one, the survey done by Radio Mindanao Network, no, placed Senator Grace Poe at the between 8th and 12th spot, no? But if you remember, that election had Senator Grace Poe as the number 1 winning candidate, no? So ang layo,
Yes.
no?
Right.
Just imagine how was this significant, no, the movement has been as far as 2013 is concerned. That's why I've always been insisting, although of course SWS always conducts its surveys face to face, I've always been advising, no, the public and practically anyone who looks at the survey to understand that the purpose of the survey is more to identify the areas where a candidate is lacking or is weak, and also identify the areas where a candidate is strong and find out the reasons why. And that the campaign should be adjusted accordingly.
Yes, that's right.
Hindi yun pwedeng maging reference na, nandun ako sa Magic 12, so sigurado na ako.
That's right.
No? Yun ang dapat nating tandaan. So, and we still have we still have more than a month, no, to think about who we are going to vote for.
Prof, yung binanggit mo kasi the 8 is yung sa top 8, no, medyo shaky pa yan, yung sa 8. How will then this political machinery of the administration, let's face it, may epekto po yan, no? How will the machinery affect yung nasa top 12 in terms of movement at sino makakapasok? Do you see any admin candidates who are medyo shaky will get a lot of help from the machinery?
Alam mo kasi at the end of the day, the machinery as far as the government is concerned is more only in terms of exposure, no? Kasi syempre kapag nasa administrasyon ka, the wanted idea of a political machinery is more of the availability of resources, no?
Yes.
But I'm sure, of course, everyone will agree that it's not just the machinery that is important here. If you're going to look at the top 6, for example, all those names are basically because of their names that they are making it to the top 6.
Yes.
It's kind of sad, I have to admit, no? Lalong-lalo na, I'm sorry, but I will be categorical. Like, for example, having to vote for someone who was asked a number of times what will be his,
Platform, is that platform?
legislation, no?
Yeah,
That will
yeah.
be identified to himself. Tapos ang sagot niya, ano bang magandang ilagay? Tapos when he was asked further, bakit wala siyang maisagot? Ang sagot niya, hindi pa ako nananalo. So pag nanalo na ako, saka ko pag-iisipan niya. Pero pinili pa din ng mga respondents. Although wala siya sa top 6. Kasi yung top 6 lang yung pwede nating sabihin na medyo safe na.
Safe.
Bumaba man yan, malamang papasok pa din sa 12. No? Kasi
okay.
ang movement,
Yun yung trend, oo.
ang tawag kasi sa pagboto ng mahigit isa, no, sa parehong posisyon, ang tawag diyan multi-member district, no? Yan ang tawag sa electoral system. Sa madalit sabi, ang tawag dito ay marami yung binoboto mo, no, sa parehong posisyon. In this particular case, 12.
Yeah.
But take note that not everyone, ako, for example, I never voted for a full 12. Ang binoboto ko lang 3, 4, marami na yung 6. Kasi talagang tinitingnan ko, sino ba dito yung pupwede? Sino yung maayos? So, ang advice ko sa mga nanonood, sana naman piliin yung mabuti yung iboboto nyo at hindi nyo naman kailangan kompletohin yung 12. Now, having said that, dahil hindi lahat bumoboto ng 12, yun ang rason kung bakit mahirap i-predict, no, kung paano magiging ranking nila at kung papasok nga talaga yung particular candidate.
Yeah.
So
Right.
yun ang naglalaro dito. It's more a battle of popularity than a battle of machinery
Qualifications.
or campaign, no?
Yeah.
So siguro battle din ito ng budots, no? Battle ng game show hosting, no?
Doon na tayo nalalagay talaga, Prof. Pero Prof, let's talk about Senator Imee Marcos. Yesterday, she officially withdrew, diba, doon sa Alyansa para sa bagong Pilipinas ng kanyang brother, ang ating presidente ngayon. Ano? And ano ba yung mangyayari sa kanya ngayon dito? Bababa pa rin ba siya or medyo may movement pataas now na finally nakita natin na meron na siyang talagang official na pinapanigan? Kasi before, di ba, ang tawag nga sa kanya na mamangkas 2 ilog Prof.
Alam mo, I hate to be candid, no, and I'm commenting more in terms of political strategy,
Right.
no. In terms of political strategy, it seems that she's been practically experimenting on. I really have no idea what kind of strategy she's been experimenting on, but clearly I said experimenting on kasi paiba-iba no?
Right.
Kaya yun din yung rason kung bakit I have no idea also why she must have thought that the Duterte name and the Duterte bandwagon, no, will
Carry her.
give her some magic pill and pull her numbers up, no? But again, clearly, if you look at the survey, it seems that it's not really been working well, no, for the slate of the former president, no? Hindi mo naman pwedeng sabihin hindi kilala yung mga yan. No, marami sa kanilang hindi kilala, no? Yung mga abogado na naging kilala sa kanilang profesyon, no? Pero meron ding mga kilalang miyembro ng slate na yon, no? Like a former singer and a former action star na yun na nga, sabi nila best actor recently, no, when the former president was arrested, no, but they're not anywhere near the top 12. Sabi ko nga, they moved towards a striking distance. If I'm not mistaken, nasa 17 yata sila pataas, no, but still very in other words, I'm not inclined to think that they really have a chance, no? I mean, we're just 1 month before the elections, no? If by now you have not been appearing in the Magic 12, I'm not sure, no, what else you can do to pull up your numbers.
So, Prof, pero about, the outlier, si Senator Bong Go, so what really pulls him up aside from the Malasakit Center? Kasi if you're looking at si Senator Bato and he's at the 9th or 10th position, of course, a staunch ally of President Duterte. Now, if you
Very vocal.
let's hypothetically put the Malasakit component with Senator Bato. Do you see him climbing up to the same position that Senator Bongo would have?
In the first place, no, unang-una, tandaan natin, wag nating kalimutan na yung pambansang photo bomber nga na sinasabi nila, doon naman nagsimula si Senator Bongo, no? At yun na nga, talagang dumikit sa isipan natin yung Malasakit Center, no? At iyon ang isa sa mga sa akin, kung akong tatanungin mo, at para doon sa mga nag-aaral ng pulisiya ng gobyerno, actually, yung Malasakit Center is a duplication of sorts. Kasi yung health benefits, matagal nandyan yan. Nagdagdag ka lang Malasakit Center na, alam mo, mahilig tayo nung ang tawag dito, fixer, no? Ayaw nating gawin na tayo mismo yung mag-aayos ng mga kailangang ayusin para maka-access tayo ng public service, no? Lagay ng Malasakit Center. Sinisweldohan mo pa ngayon yung Malasakit Center para supposedly maging go-between mo, maging fixer mo. Pero dahil nga naging sikat yung Malasakit Center, dumikit yan kay Senator Bongo. But again, as I've said, it's not like it's only Malasakit Center that stuck, no, to his name. Even if, again, no, I have to emphasize, and I hope that the people, the voters especially, will really look closely, no, at the kind of policy, advocacies of many of those running for senators. Pwede lang sabihin na mabuti naman may policy advocacy kaysa yung walang policy advocacy, magbudots lang ang katapat o kaya pangalan lang, no?
Yeah. Pero Prof, do you think the people now are forgetting the difference between a senator, a legislator, and an executive function like a mayor or a president? Like, kasi feeling nila pag may dole-outs ka, magiging effective legislator ka. So, is that what's happening now? Kasi you mentioned number 10, si Willie Revillame, who's known for helping people physically, no, giving them money and assistance, and the Tulfo brothers likewise. Sila ang matataas.
Alam mo, it's much worse than that, no? One of the easiest to see, no, is the dole-out dole-out mentality, okay? Lalo na, no, isipin mo na lang, may ayuda pa din tayo, tapos na yung pandemic. Naka 2 taon nang natatapos yung pandemic, pero may dole-out pa din tayo, no? Assuming, of course, that we're still in transition, I'm not exactly sure, no, what is the objective of this dole-out. And also, for the information of everyone, if you are going to look at the proceedings of the budget process, no, naging controversial yan. Pero actually, ang hindi ninyo nalalaman, ang nagdagdag po at nagtanggal ng budget sa ibang ahensya ng gobyerno at inilagay sa ayuda, hindi po sa House of Representatives, sa Senado po nangyari yan. So kaya doon mo makikita na yung Senado natin talagang hindi ko na maintindihan. Alam po ninyo, mga kababayan, sana naman bago kayo bumoto ng mga kilala lang ang pangalan at nakikita nyo lang sa TV, sana balikan din nyo yung Senado mga 15 years ago na merong Kiriam Defensor Santiago, merong kang Jovito Salonga, merong kang Wigberto Tañada, no? Merong kang Ople, at magagaling at talagang papakinggan mo ang bawat salitang mumutawi sa bibig nila pag sila'y nagdedebate sa Senado. Yung nakikita natin sa Senado, hindi na no? So, bakit man pwedeng baguhin nyo pa yung mga pinipili ninyo?
Prof, let's talk about Senator Bam Aquino and Kiko Pangilinan. Nakikita po natin dun sa trend, medyo paakit sila. Although, wala pa rin po sila sa top 13 or top 12. And both of them have been very quiet about what's happening right now. Ano po ba mangyayari sa kanila? Kung sila ba yung magsalita about what's happening right now, mas aangat pa sila or maigi ng ganito na lang sila?
Alam mo, maganda yung tanong mong yan. It would have been best really, no, na kasi parang ang lumalabas tuloy dahil gusto talaga nilang manalo, walang pinagkaiba yan sa namamangka sa dalawang ilog, no? Na kumbaga parang sigurista ka, ayaw mo nang you don't want to make a stand anymore because you're afraid that it will hurt your campaign.
Will rock the boat.
If they really are, who they are as they have been fashioning themselves, no, to be vanguards of truth and good policies for the government, they should really stand up for it. No, especially for Senator Bam Aquino, no, take note mga kababayan. Dati yellow ang talagang ginagamit nilang kulay at talagang doon naman nakilala ang pangalang Aquino, no? So yung bang pagpapalit ng pink, ibig sabihin may ang tawag dito, merong equivalent na pagpapalit ng policy at political positions. Merong mang ganon, sana madinig po natin kung talagang merong ganong pagbabago. Katulad na nabanggit ninyo, sa totoo lang, kaya hindi din sila napag-uusapan, kasi nga, wala din naman tayong nadidinig na, kumbaga, words that will really stick to, or at the very least will whet the appetite of some voters to consider them.
Prof, well, there has been talk since nawala na nga si Senator Imee at saka yung medyong lagi daw absent si Camille Villar sa admin slate, that si Senator Kiko, former Senator Kiko Pangilinan and Senator Bam Aquino, there might be talks already to try to get them into the slate of the admin-backed slate ni PBBM. If and when, let's say, nag-usap sila, in their best interest for them to win, do you think it would be prudent to distance themselves or maybe try to get the voters from the Northern Bloc?
Well, it's difficult to say now, no, how it will impact unless until such time that we actually see how they're going to do it. If they could just join the administration slate without explaining anything how they did it and without addressing the so-called elephant in the room, in the sense that for ages we've known them to be on opposite poles, no, it's not going to help their campaign. But if the moment they join the administration slate and make an announcement that this is because of common stance on particular issues, 1, 2, 3, blah, 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 no, that we're setting aside our personal political differences and so on, that might just work.
Really? Pero although si Toby Tiangco, yung campaign manager nila, has already released a statement yesterday saying it's untrue daw yung mga rumors na lumalabas. And even Angat Buhay, sabi din nila hindi daw totoo yung naririnig natin na may talks between Aquino, Pangilinan, and the Alyansa. Yun ang sabi nila. Just to give context sa mga viewers natin.
Kahit naman sabihin natin na meron o walang talks na nangyayari, alam mo sa politika, anything is possible eh. Yun nga magkakakampi, katulad niyan, magkapatid na at lahat, ano? pero nagkaroon pa din ng hiwalayan, no? Although again, mahabang kwento yan, no? If
Yeah.
we are going to put context as far as and history, no, as far as the sibling relationship is concerned, we would get a better picture, no, why it's not impossible that happened, no. So sa madalit sabi, the fact that that is possible, no, magkapatid na't lahat, anything is still possible. So kahit walang formal talks, no, and I'm inclined to think that if you look at the administration now and the members of the cabinet and so on and so forth, no, sabihin na natin hindi ganun kapopular ang presidente, no, but if we will be objective enough, we are still we can't really deny, no, that there's an effort to make a good mix, no, to say the least, a good mix of people working in government. In other words, a good mix of yellow, of green and red, orange, working.
Yes.
Alright, so anyway, si Kiko daw has
They
already
said
denied
no.
it.
But hypothetical lang naman ang tanong ko eh. I'd like to ask, Prof, there's been a lot of talk about confusion, especially sa loyalists, no, sa mga Northern Bloc from the KBL days of old, na sino ba talaga ang nagdadala ng Ferdinand Marcos Sr. brand? Is it PBBM or is it Senator Imee Marcos? Kasi ang tingin ng iba, si PBBM parang medyo is gearing towards similar policies to the late President Noynoy Aquino.
Well, first and foremost, I'm not sure really whether the brand is still there. The name is still there, but we've seen this in practically most, if not all, political families and political names that we've seen. Iba na talaga yung branding or iba na yung political or policy tendencies ng mga bata no? We can't avoid ang problema kasi natin sa politika natin, talagang personalan ang politika natin, no? Hindi natin tinitingnan yung programa. At kung akong tatanungin, hindi naman imposible na kaya iba yung naging approach ni Noynoy sa nanay niya o iba yung approach ni BBM ngayon sa tatay niya. Kasi whether we like it or not, the times before have been significantly different from the times today. So whether we like it or not, it's not because of I'm my father's son, so I will continue what my father did and so on. Hindi. I mean, in the same manner, if we are going to actually compare the daughter, no, of former President Rodrigo Duterte, malayo, no. So hindi pareho, no. Hindi porke magkapangalan, ibig sabihin aasahan na natin na ganun din yung magiging estilo. Magkakaiba nga ng grupo yan eh. If you are going to look at the group of Vice President Inday Sara, iba din sa grupo ng kanyang tatay. No? So ganun
But do you think it's a conscious effort, Prof, by the PR handlers of the President right now to steer clear from controversial issues that are tied to the late President Ferdinand Marcos? Because you see him also skirting away from controversial issues.
For transparency purposes, no, I worked with the president when he was senator. No, I was one of the key consultants with the former UP-NCPAG dean. No, and we've seen him work firsthand. And I have to say that the president, as much as possible, really focuses on a particular issue at hand. As far as handlers are concerned, as far as communications. And with this presenting the administration as a whole, no, is concerned, no, and these are of course the job of other people. I'm not exactly sure how conscious they've been doing it, no, but as far as the president is concerned, I'm quite sure that the way he's been handling issues is defined only by one yardstick, no, understanding what the issue is and figuring out how best to address it.
Right.
That's all. No, so he's not perfect, of course. I mean, our overall political setup is. That's why I don't call it system. It's just a setup because, alam mo, lahat ng tao-tao lang eh. No, kahit kapartido yan, wala naman tayong tunay na partido. Kaya nga, pagka may pangalan ka, may pera ka, wala kang magawa, paggising mo sa umaga, takbo kaya ako. Ganyan na nangyayari sa atin. So, it to my mind, no, it is going to it will be useful only, no, if we really look into, no, the kind of leader a particular person is. I'm not saying this only
Right.
because of I'm not saying this only for Bongbong Marcos. I know a number of other political leaders, no, and you know, hindi naman yun ang pinag-uusapan natin dito, but yeah, everyone has his own idiosyncrasy. Let's just put it at that.
Alright. On that note, maraming salamat po sa inyong mga insights. Maganda yung mga napag-usapan natin
Yeah.
today. Thank you so much for your time, Professor Edmund Tayo. Thank you po. Alright, Senator Imee Marcos has dropped out of the administration's senatorial slate, Alyansa para sa Bagong Pilipinas. Senator Marcos attributed her decision to differences in principles, particularly in light of former President Rodrigo Duterte's arrest. She said she can no longer campaign alongside other members of the slate and will maintain her independence throughout the election period. Now, for his part, Alyansa campaign manager Representative Toby Tiangco denied reports that opposition former Senators Kiko Pangilinan and Bam Aquino would be joining their slate. He also emphasized that the Alyansa is still, quote, solid.
Palace Press Officer Under Secretary Claire Castro believes the Philippines would end up in a dumpster if Vice President Sara Duterte were to become president. Castro made this statement after VP Sara said that the country is bound to end up in a trashy situation because Filipinos are becoming hopeless about the current state of affairs in the Philippines. The Palace Press Officer added that it would be difficult for everyone if a leader spends more time abroad than in the country. VP Sara is currently in the Netherlands to assist her father, former President Rodrigo Duterte, in his ICC case.
Lugmok na tayo sa kahirapan. It seems that we are working to go to the dumpster. No? As I said noon, we are on this road to perdition. Somehow, walang nakikitang hope yung mga tao dahil wala din silang nakikita. Wala
Nawawala ang pag-asa ng mga Pilipino. Hindi ba siya yung nawawala sa Pilipinas ngayon? Hindi ba mas magiging mapupunta tayo sa dumpster kung ang magiging pangulo natin o ang magiging leader natin ay ang mga katulad nila VP Sara, mas na inuuna pang magpunta sa abroad, magsilbi sa isang tao, although tatay niya po yun, pero marami pa rin pong Pilipino na umaasa sa kanya bilang vice-presidente.
Don't go away because we're not done yet. Stay with us. Welcome back. You're still watching News and Views here on One News.
The Department of Public Works and Highways confirms that the EDSA rehabilitation project will begin during Holy Week. DPWH Secretary Manuel Bonoan says the project will prioritize the Pasay to Guadalupe section and Balintawak to Monumento. He notes that starting Holy Week aims to minimize traffic disruptions as many motorists leave Metro Manila. The DPWH targets completing key sections by November before pausing work for the holiday season. Meanwhile, the MMDA will soon release a detailed traffic management plan for the project.
The Northeast Monsoon, or Amihan, has officially ended, marking the start of the dry season across the Philippines, according to PAGASA. While most areas will experience warmer temperatures, occasional thunderstorms may still occur. PAGASA advises the public to take precautions against heat stress. It also urged everyone to optimize water usage for personal and domestic needs. Yun, at
So
saka,
finally,
oo.
yesterday, official
na.
Dry
There's
season na tayo. Actually, kasi wala talaga tayong summer.
Correct,
Walang tawag eh. Pero parang nako-correlate na lang natin yung
summer
dry
kasi
season to summer.
is linked to a break.
Oo.
Summer break. Pero ang sabi ng PAGASA, it's not going to be as hot as last year. Because last year was terrible eh.
Yeah.
They released a statement na it's not going to be, yung temperatures, although may mga times na may critical level pa rin, danger level, pero hindi daw po parang last year.
Actually nga, mas na-late yung yung pag-declare ngayon ng PAGASA.
Oo,
If I
kasi
can remember it correctly,
lumalaban
kasi
si Amihan
usually
eh.
March
Oo.
to May ang dry season. Eh ngayon pa-end na ang March. Ngayon pa
Oo.
lang, di ba?
Ayun. So ang sinasabi kasi nila, so yung Amihan were still very persistent sa northern areas. Kahit nagbabadya yung easterly sa central to southern areas, di ba? But yeah, go ahead.
To talk more about this, we are joined by PAGASA weather specialist Dan Villamil. Hey Dan, good morning.
Yes po, good morning po sa inyo and to our viewers. So as of now, may minomonitor ang PAGASA na low pressure area sa loob ng ating latest location natin. As of 3 a.m. today, ay 220 kilometers east ng Hinatuan, Surigao del Sur. Maliit naman yung chance na nasabing low pressure area na maging bagyo in the next 24 hours. Pero magdudulot pa rin ito ng mga kaulapan at mga kalat-kalat na pag-ulan, papulog at pagkilat sa most of Visayas, Northern Mindanao, Caraga, and Davao Region. For Metro Manila, and sa nalalabing bahagi pa ng ating bansa, magpapatuloy naman itong mainit at malinsangang panahon na dulot ng easterlies. Pero ngayon pa man, nandiyan pa rin yung mga tsansa ng usual late afternoon or evening na mga thunderstorms. And sa ating sea condition o sa kalagayan ating karagatan, wala namang gale warning na nakataas. And banayat hanggang sa tamtamang pag-alon ang ating inaasahan sa malaking bahagi ng ating bansa.
Yes, Dan, yung dry season, medyo late, parang late na nag-start, no? Does it mean na also mag-i-end siya later on or same schedule pa rin ang tatakbo nito?
Well, usually, based po sa ating latest analysis, same schedule pa rin naman po. Nasan pa rin natin yung usual or normal onset naman ng ating rainy season. So itong dry season kasi nagtatagal hanggang the latter parts of May. And starting sa first weeks ng June, saka na natin mararanasan yung usual occurrence ng ating afternoon thunderstorm. So this signifies yung pagpasok naman ng ating southwest monsoon o yung habagat season natin.
Pero just to clarify lang, which areas pa rin yung pwedeng makaranas pa ng mga pag-ulan?
So most of the country, so since nag-terminate na po tayong northeast monsoon at inasa na natin yung onset ng dry season o tag-init, mas madalas na yung ating thunderstorm activity. So most of the country makakaranas na ng mga usual na late afternoon to evening thunderstorms.
And then finally, PAGASA made pronouncements, I think this last few days na yung although dry season at magiging mainit na, pero hindi daw magiging grabe ng last year. Is that correct?
Yes po. So inaasam kasi natin, papunta tayo sa tinatawag nating ENSO neutral condition. So patapos na yung nakaraang La Nina, and malala natin last year, may episodes tayo na El Nino. So inasahan natin mas makakaranas tayo or mas usual yung mga thunderstorms. So usually nakakatulong naman ito na hindi ganun kataasan yung ating maximum temperatures na naitatala usually sa tanghali or hapon.
All right. Thank you for that, PAGASA weather specialist Dan Villamil.
Now in sports, the dream continues for Filipina tennis star Alex Eala, who stunned world number 2 Iga Swiatek to storm into the Miami Open semifinals. Eala secured her third straight win over a Grand Slam champion in the tournament. The 19-year-old took control early, crushing set 1 before a tough set 2 win to seal the deal. Final score is 6-2 and 7-5. In the semifinals, Eala will be up against either Emma Raducanu or world number 4 Jessica Pegula. After her win, Eala thanked fans for their support. International Women's Month may be ending, but these Filipina designers are keeping the spirit alive, making their mark on a global stage through Nike's latest signature shoe. Mobile journalist Denise Valdesancho has the story.
3 brilliant Filipinas, 1 iconic shoe. Meet the designers who gave a new look to the WNBA champion and Olympian Sabrina Ionescu's signature shoe Nike Sabrina 2. Branded as the Nike Sabrina 2X Titan, Alex Papa, Larry Gasman, and Eala Torre translated their vision into a reality.
What was cool about it was, I think kahit iba-iba yung shinare namin, nagkaroon siya ng parang overarching theme na nakaka-relate kami.
The color of a neutral light bone dominated the sneaker, accented with purple, emerald, and blush inspired by Titan's Show Her Love community. This was coupled with the New York Liberty's seafoam teal shade. Torre, also a former player and hails from the Ateneo and UP Diliman, depicted the growth of the game through the empty bleachers seen on the left insole.
To go back to Titan Show Her Love tournament, wala namang ganun dati, especially nung time namin and even before. Madalang yung ganong opportunities for female basketball players.
Gasman from the College of Fine Arts and Design of the University of Santo Tomas envisioned her element through the fire spinner, evident in the pink to yellow gradient swoosh and imprinted on the right insole.
And I think that speaks to the duality of any woman, that we're very resilient, that we can do anything, that put us anywhere and we will thrive.
Papa, a UP Baguio graduate and a designer for Titan, focused on women's efforts and opportunities, symbolized through make-space typography, 10-gram puzzles and Bauhaus shapes on the heels, as well as the Hooper graphic behind the tongue.
Parang sinasalamin niya din yung mga efforts ng mga kababaihan and then yung mga opportunities na meron tayong opportunity. Pero kailangan natin ng tulong ng iba, like our supporters, diba, yung mga cheerleaders natin.
Reflecting on the time Ionescu stayed in the country, the designers highlighted both her warmth and cold-bloodedness, making an impact to every Filipina.
A woman, if you put her in a situation na parang, can you show the best of you? Can you show your fiercest self? Yes. But also, the other side of the coin is that we're women. We're loving.
More than just sneakers.
Well-received siya across all genders. Yung objective din nung lahat nung initiative of empowering women is gearing towards a culture na mas inclusive.
To everyone who will wear this shoe.
I hope that they remember when they wear this shoe that anything is possible. They have it all in them. And I hope that the men wearing this shoe always remember to think, what can I do to support a woman today and every day?
Mobile journalist Denise Valdesancho. We are One News.
Ayan, so that's another day of news, diba? And before we let you go, I'd like to leave everyone with a quote. Civilization begins with order, grows with liberty, and dies with chaos. A quote from Will Duran. That wraps up today's episode of News and Views.
Join us again tomorrow. I'm Angela Lagunzad Castro.
And I'm Angelo Castro III. We are One News.
All sides, all the time.